Yeah, exactly. I think the as I said, this the stakeholder thing is interesting in the sense that I guess it could be a category manager coming to an MSP, it could be a head of procurement, it could be a CPO potentially. But it's clearly a procurement problem, which depending on how the organization is set up, might be very separate from the people dealing with contingent workforce, or actually it might be very closely aligned, or it could in some cases even be similar teams.
Yep.
What would you say is the harder side of the process to solve? So if we look at it as kind of like pre-contract, post-contract, what in your experience is the harder part of that equation to solve in terms of putting the right processes in place and getting on top of it?
I think the I think the contract. I think we're lucky. There's some really good platforms out there that we can leverage that are able to, like your own, is able to, once the data gets into it, it enables, provides visibility. You're able to see what it is, and you're able to put controls in place to make sure everything works. So I think being able to leverage the technology is really fundamental to any success. I think anything that happens outside the technology causes us grief. That's where we start to get in trouble. That's where we start to find that people are negotiating deals, they're doing things, they're making offers around stuff that it just can't be supported by the organization. So a lot of that pre-work causes us problems. So I always take the position, if I can get it into the tool, a tool into that process, well, then I can have success from there because I can drive that rigor and control. Outside that, I'm like, all I'm doing is just picking up the phone, advising, hey, Johnny, you should not be doing this. Or have you thought about using another supplier or doing things? So the only way around that is like education and constant outreach to really try to make sure that the engagement managers understand how they should be purchasing, what are the options that are available to them. But once it gets into the tool, then we can drive rigor and control. So yeah, it seems like a little bit of a cop-out, but I apologize.